Hi. Thursday, the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction is announced. So I thought I'd just go through the shortlist again and let you know what I thought. And I've also had a look at the Goodreads ratings to see what they think. I can't say that I've really enjoyed the shortlist this year. There are two or three outstanding books in the long list, and I was amazed that they never made it to the shortlist. Nesting, the artist. They were wonderful. The Rosamund Pike. I've forgotten what its title. Little Trickery or something. Those three I thought were great, but none of them made it onto the shortlist, and I can't say that I really have really had a good time reading the shortlist this year. There was no standout book for me in the shortlist, but who am I? I'm just one person. Looking at the Goodreads, I'll do the Goodreads. I'll use their ratings because they more or less agree with me, I think. Well, I say they more or less agree with me. I more or less agree with them. They have number 6 as The Persians by Sana Maludi. This one, it didn't work for me. It left me underwhelmed. It follows several generations of a once prominent family who fled from Iran to America after the Shah was removed. The matriarch of the family, Elizabeth, stayed in Iran along with one of her granddaughters, Niaz. Her daughters, Shirin and Seema, went to America with their families. And we focus a lot on Shirin, who is so OTT. They are a wealthy family, and they flaunt it. They flaunt it so much. They'll buy expensive watches and just throw them away in a whim. Their life revolves around pedicures and bikini waxes, and I just did not like the characters. I was more invested, I suppose, in Niaz, the one who stayed in Iran. I was more interested in her story than these women who just thought they were above everybody else in America. But it didn't work for me. Goodreads have got it at 3.46. Then the next one they've got their number 5 as All Fours by Miranda July. This was an interesting experience, an interesting read. There are some parts I liked and some parts I just didn't. I listened to this one on audio. Our main character's 45. She's a successful artist. She's got a child and she's in perimenopause. And she decides she's going to drive across country to New York and will be away for 3 weeks. But within 30 miles of leaving home, she pulls into a motel and stays there, pretending to everybody that she's en route to New York. She's in New York. She's going to come home from New York. Once there, she decides to spend $20,000 redecorating the motel room, a room that she doesn't own. She's just renting, as you do. And she develops an obsession over a guy who cleaned a windscreen. There is a vulnerability to her, but this perimenopause thing's sort of thrown her off balance. There's a lot of trauma in her life. The sex acts in here, I'm pretty open-minded, but even I thought some of them are really, really icky. There was a discussion on motherhood and marriage and getting older. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. Another one that wasn't for me. Then their next one is, what do they get as number 4? Number 4 is Good Girl by Aria Arba. Set in Berlin, about a young girl struggling with her identity and trying to find out where she belongs, at the same time spending her time partying. Neela is the daughter of Afghan refugees. Her parents were well educated, they were intellectual, but in Germany they're the bottom of the pile. And Neela's ashamed of her background. She sees slogans daubed on the wall, she hears about murders and arson attacks. And when asked where she comes from, she says she's Greek or Italian. Anything but the truth. She wants to get away and she's applying to UK universities. But she gets sucked into the party scene, and we've got pages and pages of her taking drugs and having sex and being enamoured of an older American writer who doesn't treat her well. We've got a toxic relationship here that is at times really uncomfortable. I thought that rather than trying to find freedom and find herself, she was on a path to self-destruction. Again, an interesting journey, but one I didn't really enjoy. Then number 3 is Fundamentally. Now for me, this would have gone behind Good Girl. It's been described, Fundamentally by Nusayba Yunus. It's been described as funny, but I didn't find it funny. I had mixed feelings about this one as well. Nadia's a young woman. She's just gained a lectureship and she's dealing with an estrangement, not only with her Muslim mother, but from a long-time girlfriend. So she decides to escape by taking a job in the UN, with the UN, to run a program to de-radicalise ISIS women in Iraq and get them repatriated. It's a serious topic, which is why I had mixed feelings about this. She's not a practicing Muslim, and so her voice at times is very irreverent. She also seems very incredibly naive and is drawn to one of the young ISIS women, Sarah. And that was the problem with me. You know, she's on this program to help and repatriate, but she focuses on just one woman, one girl. There's no professionalism. Where was the professionalism here? You're supposed to be looking after everybody, not just one. And the banter between the two of them, it's like listening to kids on a schoolyard. I just found it shallow. And the other UN workers were almost caricatures. And surely, in reality, UN departments aren't populated by people like this. I thought the stories of the other women could have been explored rather than focused just on Sarah. The other women were just names. You didn't know anything about them. I was expecting something more than just satire, especially as the author knows about this world and has experienced it. And I came away with no real insight into the work of the UN or the life of the camps. So, for me, it was down there. It wasn't. So, 4 out of 6, and there's not one I can say I've really liked yet. Then number 2 was Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. Have I done? Yeah. Then number 2 is Tell Me Everything. This is the only one that gets, well, it's 4.05, this one. It's another one in the Lucy Barton series. And although this time it's not predominantly about Lucy, we're still in Maine, where Lucy and William are living. Her friendship with Bob Burgess has continued. They take regular walks. We have Olive Kittredge in this book as well. And Lucy and Olive trade stories. And what you see in this book is more of Bob, because he's taking on a case defending a man who's been accused of murdering his mother. We learn more about Bob in this one. I've not read the Burgess Boys, not yet, but we learn more about Bob in this one. This is a strange one. I enjoy it. I enjoy Elizabeth Strout's writing. I had a whale of a time with this book. So yeah, it's up there. But it's a strange one to be shortlisted, because it's almost like the 4th in the series. And it seems strange to pick a book that you almost need to have read some of the others to get a feel for it. So I was a little bit confused. Well, confused. I'm always confused. But, you see what I mean? It's why choose a book in a series as... Do you see what I mean? They're number one. Goodreads have got us the highest rating, and I think this is the one that I think will win, is the Safekeep by Yael van der Wooden, which was shortlisted for the Booker last year. Set in Holland in 1961. It's a very sensual novel. It's about two women, a house, and the legacy of World War II. Isabel lives alone in a country house. Her parents are dead. Her brothers have moved away. And she's attached to the house and the memories within it. The china that her mother used. Everything means something to her. She is almost repressed. And although there's somebody who wants to court her, she shies away from physical contact, from intimacy. Her brothers... Hendrik is settled with his partner Sebastian, and her other brother Louis goes from girl to girl, but he's got to go away, so he suggests that his present girlfriend Eva goes to stay with Isabel to keep her company, which horrifies Isabel. And she believes the whole time that Eva is stealing from her, the same way that she believes the girl who comes in and helps her steals from her. She's obsessed by counting teaspoons, making sure they're all there. And Isabel's feelings for Eva become, there's an obsession there. As I said, it's a very sensual novel. And when you get to, I'm not giving spoilers away, but the final third, I was not expecting. I did not expect it at all. It was a slow burn, a very sensual novel and an enjoyable read. So this is the one, although I can't say that I enjoyed the shortlist this year, I think this one is the best of the bunch. And I think the Safekeep is the one that will win it. But I'll be wrong. I always am wrong. So we'll see. I just hope that next year, the long list, the short list is, I have more fun with it, because I can't say I had fun this year. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on the shortlist. Goodreads ratings. I've given you the Goodreads ratings as well. They're 1s to 6s. And I think, yeah, I agree with Goodreads. I think Safekeep is number 1. And Elizabeth Strout is number 2. Although it still confuses me as why the third in a third, fourth in a series is even in a shortlist. But, Elizabeth Strout is a brilliant writer. So, that's it. I'll come back and see whether, after it's been announced, and we'll see whether I was right or not. I don't think I will be. I never am. So, happy reading. Take care.